Work didn't give me off for wedding. Just as the title states, I have 2 jobs and one is just weekend work. Got the job to help pay for my wedding. I put off for my wedding 6 months in advance. It's next weekend and they have me on the schedule. I wish I could see the looks on their faces when I'm not there. I'm not even gonna tell them. When they call you to find out where you are, just scream, "You forgot my wedding." Quote. I put in for my rehearsal dinner half-day Friday before my wedding 9 months in advance. Friday comes and when I'm packing up, boss has a meltdown about it. I said it's been approved for 9 months. Boss says he forgot and we are way too busy and I needed to stay. I was young and dumb, so I stayed for 2 more hours. Got married and did some job hunting on my honeymoon. Within a few weeks when I returned, I put in my notice. My old job did this to me. I quit same day. They asked me, "Well, what time is the wedding? Can't you just come in early?" Quote. I had this happen to me when I was graduating from college. Not quite the financial issue that a wedding is, but just as big of a family event. I worked for a restaurant in college for several years that hosted big events like weddings. etc. I let them know 6 months in advance when my college graduation was, that I would not be available for those 4 days as my family would be in town for the ceremony. And also pointed out that in 3 years of employment I had never requested that I have days off. 2 days before graduation they changed the waitstaff schedule, putting me on, in order to excuse the owner's daughter from working because she had been bumped to varsity for a volleyball tournament. When I objected to the change with 2 days' notice, the owner literally told me that he would always choose his children's events over his employees no matter what the timeline. While I actually sorta applaud as a dad his dedication to his child, I could not reconcile the cruel belief that his kid's volleyball game trumped my mom's, a single mom because my dad had passed, celebration of her first child graduating from college, especially since I had made sure to request the time off months ahead of time. Of course it didn't matter that I was a loyal employee for 3 years and a restaurant server. Favorite. I was told if I took off for my graduation I would be fired. So I walked out and never came back. When I got married I was waiting tables while going to school. Boss was really cool. 3 days before I come in and he calls me into his office. Says to me, "Bro, I took you off the schedule and you can borrow days off from next year. There is no way your wife is happy you're here right now. Take it from me. Don't start this with her angry. Gave me off the 3 days before and let me take a 2-week honeymoon. Like I wish to God that job paid enough to support a family. Now I do HVAC. But waiting tables was the most fun I ever had at a job. Did it on weekends for years after I didn't need to anymore. BC it was my social life." https www.askamanager.org/2016/07/my-best-employee quit on the spot because I wouldn't leather guitar college graduatee. On HTML. Block any number they may be calling you on the day off so they can't interrupt your day either. If you really don't want to talk to them at all about it, unblock it after the fact to see how that went with them. Lol. You told them that the time off was for your wedding? And knowing that, they still refused to give you the time off? Seriously? Send the management and schedule maker an invite. Provided they can get cover for their shifts, of course. Just point it out as the schedule could be a mistake. If the boss has a psycho reaction, then quit. I had a job as an on-call. I worked maybe 23 times a week. My wedding was planned before I started. First the manager was shocked I didn't invite the management team to my wedding, and then she tried To deny my honeymoon because it is too busy. Screw these people. My former boss denied my request off for my son's birth. I was the one giving birth. I couldn't exactly avoid that. I would talk yo them so they are not calling and annoying you on your wedding day, and if they say you have to work, just quit. Over a decade ago, I had a job interview with the manager in June, and I had mentioned that my wedding would be August 22nd. Got hired and first day of work was July 15th. Showed up and mentioned again that I would need the 22nd off. Didn't even ask for any additional days. Just the Saturday for my wedding. Manager's response was usually day off requests need to be submitted before the 15th of the prior month. Therefore I was a day late, but she'll make an exception. I said thanks, but I think she knew I was willing to quit on her on day one otherwise. Well, since you're having the wedding, they served their purpose, and good riddance. I being in the same kind of situation. Took a week of vacation half a year in advance. They called me in the middle of it, saying I need to come in emergency. Reminded them I took a week off vacation and that I am not even in the same city and won't be available until next week. They were very upset but understood nothing could be done about it. Still found it rude to call me and forgot I was on vacation. Make sure your phone is offline during your wedding. They might try to call you from a lot of different phones to have you answer it and are desperate enough. If you want to keep your job, remind them that you requested that time off for your wedding. Go from there. If they insist that you work anyway, then, well, your call. If they acknowledge that they know and insist that you work anyway, then yeah. No. You didn't say whether they said they remembered or not. Could be that management forgot or something. Humans make mistakes. This is the way. Maybe they made a mistake. Why wouldn't you remind them that you have booked time off so they can ask someone else to work? So the job you only got to pay for the wedding wants you to work on the day of the wedding. I'm thinking of all the hilarious responses to the inevitable, "Where were you?" Quote. Starting with, "I only took this job to pay for my wedding. Wedding is over. So guess what comes next?"
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.